Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's boys' night out. And don't you know
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, the roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew.
We're all together again. We're all very sad.
Yeah, so on this episode, we're going to review the Leagues Cup knockout against Minnesota from last Friday.
Wow.
We're going to get a Crew 2 update. We'll go through the prediction results. I don't think anyone predicted that we would be done. But we will. I think we're going to pick some winning horses for the Leagues Cup. And I think we got some Twitter questions we're going to talk about, a few other things. So let's just jump in with me in the club. Ben, Mort, Trey, and Hans. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Sad. So sad.
Yeah, so we didn't have to figure out how many more games would be played at lower.com. We saw the last one on Friday. Who was there?
Mort and I were.
So I saw when I was watching the broadcast, it looked kind of empty. I was surprised for a Friday night. Well, I mean,
Pathetic.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like way more packed.
No, I have.
How do you feel, Haas? How do you feel about it?
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it. Of course, I'm disappointed people have shown up. But here's the thing: tickets were costing more than normal for this game. So we get we get a bonus game. So it's not like, hey, to season ticket holders, like here's a new game, and you know what, you can come to this and you get like a discount. No, they charge more on the ticket. I have a bunch of people that I know have season tickets. I said like, hey, I have like 4 season tickets. It's too many games. It's too much money. I just can't justify it. But spending another couple of $100, especially when we had the rain out a couple of weeks ago, where a lot of people left and felt like, okay, I spent hundreds of dollars, and never really watched it. So there was a little bit of fatigue, I think.
Via the Nordic, it was $35 with a membership rather than $30 for a normal game. So,
but also, I mean, to Mort's point, you hate to complain about home games, right? But
yeah,
they were all home games, and they were all in a short span. So
a Friday night, I love the idea of a Friday night game.
Yeah, it's novel.
I partied. It was fun.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I had a
I partied.
I went
compared to a Monday night game, all about a Friday night.
Oh yeah,
amen.
for sure.
Amen.
I went to the game hostile.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the attendance was not good. How was the atmosphere? It was an action-packed game. So
I would say this
still okay.
I would say about one thing about that is Nordic, I think, showed up, and it was a pretty decent show up there, and they were pretty much in full force. It was more like when you look around the sidelines, and the atmosphere, sound-wise, I mean, it was pretty decently. I think the people that are passionate were there.
I mean, sound-wise too, they weren't playing that stupid Leagues Cup song every goal kick.
Yes.
Well, that's because we weren't cussing or having slander during the kicks.
That was the worst.
That's why
though.
they played it.
That was bad.
Yeah. I get it, but I mean, I get why they did it. It's kind of funny.
So,
like, what are they saying?
And we talked about the good representation of Club America. Whatever it was, Monday. Were there traveling Minnesota fans?
I saw like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
It's what's expected.
Okay.
There's people that knew Will Trapp probably just like.
That's exactly what it was.
It was his family. It was his mother, father.
It's the Gehenna cheering section of Will Trapp.
Oh man.
His
Okay.
math teacher was there.
3 in a Browns jersey.
Did you marry the math teacher?
Ding.
Okay, so I did not know that. No, you got me distracted.
Sorry, that's true. That's
It's a trap. It's a trap. Okay. Well, let's jump into the game. Also, I think we'll record again before we're back. against Cincy.
We're going to try to do the Hot Ones episode.
Oh, we're going to try again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just so everyone knows, we've tried this a few times.
We advertised it.
We've done it
many
once.
times.
We did it once. We've tried like 3 times. It's not the hot sauce's fault.
No, it's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, well let's talk Minnesota. Let's go through those lineups real quick, and then we'll talk about the game.
Yeah, for the crew, we had the front three of Kucha, Ramirez, and Matan. Then Amundsen, Nagby, Morris, and Gressel getting his first start. Chaburko, Zawadski, Morera, and Bush.
Yeah.
Okay. Notable players.
Also, Chaburko's first start.
Yeah.
Okay, I was really impressed with Gressel. I was glad to see the ball going through him. But
Mixed results.
not as
Mixed
much.
Yeah, I would. I don't agree.
Okay, we'll get into that. But obviously, we did try out something. This is what we talked about before this tournament. We want to see some people being utilized and try some people. And we saw that at the end of Club America game, we brought in some people that we haven't seen in a while. And now we're starting 2 of them that we just brought on board. So that's good to see, and that's what we wanted to see, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The rotation with Bush in the back was interesting. I mean, I feel like just in general with knockout rounds and stuff like that, most clubs don't rotate out their starting keeper. I didn't have like a problem with the way Bush played.
No,
really,
it was good.
but yeah, it was those.
He played the first game, right, against
Yeah. Which makes sense. It's like the first games you usually sub in and rotate the keeper, but once it's like knockout, you don't really mess with the keeper because he can go, all the games and he's not running a bunch. But
Yeah, I don't think any of the goals were Bush's
no.
fault.
I thought he played well. He's played really good when he comes in, like no issues. But
Okay, so you guys took issue with my Gressel comment. I mean, I just thought that the team was putting the ball. He was a.
I didn't take issue with him coming in. I just said it was mixed results.
Yeah, well, he saw a lot of activity, right? I mean, I think that they
certainly.
were. The directive was play the ball through him, or if it wasn't the directive. That's just what the folks were doing on the field.
It's what Minnesota was giving us.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think? First half, how did we start off?
I mean, it's weird because I watched it kind of on the phone, for the game, and then Saturday I watched the first half, and then today I watched the second half. And for some reason, I felt like ultimately I couldn't get a grasp on what happened because I'm watching the game, I'm looking at the possession stats and the shots, and it was like, man, I felt like we crushed them, but. We let 3 goals in, and it's like it's so weird because I got done today watching it and I still it felt weird. It just felt weird. It was like, we had complete control. I thought we were able to put 3 goals in. So I mean, without Zelly and without our new number 9, we've had 7 goals in 2 games, which is bananas.
Still scoring.
Yeah, we're still scoring. And 3 different people scored. And we had a bunch of possession and 25 shots on goal, and I was like, "Oh, great! This is great." But we lost, and it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that. And I woke up this morning, I think we all did, to watch the girls' game, and that was the same like letdown. It was like I just feel like bummed out. So
the women's game.
I mean, it's totally different game. I thought we played well. I think the hesitation on Gressel, and I kind of want to start there, was I didn't think. It was weird. I didn't think his set pieces and his corners, I didn't think were that great. And that was a bummer because that's kind of like the MO, but he was still doing the thing where he can't beat the first guy. And some of the balls he put in, I counted 4, I think, in the early second half where he put them almost out of bounds, like not even in the box. And I was like, what is happening?
He was not alone. He was not alone.
Yeah, he kind of looked gassed. And I wonder if that is like fixture congestion and the fact that he just like got off the plane, had a really good game 4 days ago, got mobbed, and then all of a sudden he's like playing and he just looked exhausted. And I think some of the guys did look.
He was limping in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And moving slowly. But I think he had a mixture of great crosses and horrible crosses.
Yeah, there was no in between.
But we were feeding the ball through him a lot.
Yeah. Does anybody else have something to say about that? Because I'm confused on our left center back. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think where I'm confused with that was it kind of felt like it didn't fit with the way we've been playing.
Right.
So it's kind of feeding it purposely, like forcing it out to him very wide and then trying to get crosses in. It's not how we've been playing. We've been trying to try to feed through the channels and try to get to the end line around inside the, where the box meet the end line and kind of knock it in from there. Not these wide crosses.
Yeah.
That feels kind of strange when we kind of knocked it out there and waiting for like a Beckham kind of, swing in there.
Yeah.
And
I think you've got a good point there. I think as we grew into the game as well, and you saw the subs come in the second half with Yacht and Farsi, you really saw us come back to our bread and butter.
Yeah.
And that's where we really started to play more like we're used to seeing them play. So it might just be a wrinkle that Nancy wanted to see out there. He wanted to see Gressel, what he could do, what something different would look like with the team, and he wasn't afraid to use this game to do it.
Yeah, and before we get into more of the gameplay and talk about personnel, the Amundsen pushing him up, I know that's what he really was brought in to do in playing that role, but I would still argue he plays better further back. But now I guess he got to get used to this too. So this is a transition for him after playing the left back role for so long. I like him better. I like him better than that. He's been really good in that left back position.
He's been comfy back there. Like he has been shutting people down, people twice his size.
Left center back?
Yeah,
as opposed to left wing back?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but he's also, it's kind of, I think we're going to see the same thing with Zawadzki once, and eventually when he gets pushed back into the midfield, it'll be like, I kind of liked him at like center back or like sweeper.
I'm not sure if he will.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's just say he does.
How do we move him now? I mean, he's maybe our most consistent player, along with a couple of others, which have been executing at a high level.
These are good problems, champagne problems.
We can talk a little bit about the goal and getting into the first half, of course, and his name will come up.
Yeah, we might as well start talking about goals because it pretty much follows the entire game.
Yeah, and there's a lot to cover too. Haas, you want to cover the first one in the 17th minute?
Yes, 17th minute. Long Wayne. Crew take a corner kick. They're unable to hold the ball after a clearance from Minnesota United FC. They pass the ball out to Reynoso, close to the midfield. Because it's a ridiculous team name. United FC.
Say loons.
I was thinking that it could be like the Prince City, but that. Go ahead.
They get the ball out to Reynoso, close to midfield. He turns. Past an oncoming Chaburko and slides past Morris and plays a ball over the top to Pookie, who brings it down and is 2v1 against Moreira. Pookie plays, it was a very well-timed ball to Longwain, and he goes by Moreira and he chips Bush with his left foot, and that was his 5th goal in the Leagues Cup tournament.
Yeah, and he was dangerous throughout, and it
was a good goal.
It's a good goal, and the timing was, saying it again, was perfect. I was kind of yelling. I was texting, "Is this offside?"
Yep.
But looking at it, it was like perfect. You get a player like Pookie up there. He just knocked that on perfectly.
Well, I think,
but we were isolated. He isolated Zava though.
Yeah, I think one thing that was very evident, especially rewatching it, and I felt it during the game, but this was the beginning of watching Reynoso really have a good game. Yeah.
Dude, he is stupid good.
He did some things on that outside, and he was a big contributor to the United FC attack, for sure.
He embarrassed Chaburko many times.
Many times.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we'll flash forward to his other goal, and his other goal was actually when Amundsen was guarding him. So I that's why I'm not. That's why I was a little bit confused on. So he got subbed. Chaburko got subbed off at half, and I texted everybody like, "What? Why did he get subbed off? Was he that bad in the first half? I did not think he was that bad on rewatch at all.
I think
like at all.
I thought it was
what
like
did you think?
he was tired. Like he was jogging at times when he shouldn't have been jogging. He just looked tired. He was getting forward a lot. Sometimes in a good way. Sometimes crosses way out of bounds.
Well, and I mean, before that, though, I mean, before half, we did have the equalizer
Yes.
for sure.
Well, so just my thought on that first goal, and really, I don't know. I felt like all their goals. Maybe this is just kind of their style of play, but it just came out of nowhere. Like the amount of time it took us to describe that goal was like 3 times as long as it took to unfold on the field, and it was just like, what just happened?
And in that goal, there wasn't anything like glaring that we did wrong, right? There wasn't something insanely wrong. I remember watching it just like, they did a good job. Those were like, I mean.
No, I mean, you could say you've got to step in and make a play on the crossfield pass from Reynoso to Pukki. But beyond that, not really.
Yeah.
It was a great ball from Reynoso.
Yeah.
Yeah. On rewatch, too, that guy's a monster.
Okay,
He's annoying. Is
Yeah.
what he is.
so we
Socks over the
can.
knees.
I mean, anything to say between 17th minute first goal and when we equalized was, as you said, Ben. I mean, I kind of felt like we were in control the whole game. So I didn't feel like there was a bunch of tide shifting on how we. I mean, I really felt like we were in control most of the time, and they took advantage of a few weak spots. But any comments before we go to our equalizer in the 42nd?
I don't really have anything. It's just that same thing where, something happens. I think same thing when we scored. It wasn't America. It was some other game where I was like, 5 minutes after they had scored and like we kicked off, I was like, we'll get it back. And then when we got it back, I felt comfortable. Like, yeah, we're going to put this team away like 3 or 4-1. Like,
and this had a
is not gonna be problem.
similar feel to the America game, just from a when the goals were scored kind of vibe, and also just the momentum. To your point, I think it was the America game. I mean, that's how I felt.
We tied up right before the half then too, right?
Yeah.
And then rolling into the second half, I was like, we're fine. And then this game just happened to be like,
we had a couple of good chances in the first
we
half.
2 off the post too.
Early on, wasn't like Cucho?
Yeah.
Cucho right off the bat. That was like really early on.
Yeah. All right, Haas, hit us with the 42nd minute goal.
Minnesota's trying to build out of the back. Amundsen has a great step and wins the ball, and his first touch goes to Cucho. Amundsen continues his run as Cucho drives forward. He slips the ball through to Amundsen, who shoots with his left near post past St. Clair.
Beating him near post. I love it.
And then he has the same shot again, like 3 minutes later. Like almost identical, just it's saved.
Yeah.
It's a good looking goal.
All Amundsen, he won the ball back. He scored the goal. That's why it's so hard to argue. Anytime I think about this crew team, I'm like, I want him to play here. And then all of a sudden, but he scored. It's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, I completely agree. I prefer him at left back. He's just been so great. And then he scores in the first game he's playing left. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't love it. But I don't know why I don't love it.
But I argue often when you're talking about players not having a good game, but they scored, and that's what matters. Then we're talking about forwards. Not like midfielders. Yeah. That's why it's kind of like, he scored the goal. That was a really good run through. He that's what he can do, and that's what he was brought in to play that kind of role. And he scored, but there was some other things in there. But no, that was a nice goal. Good timing. Cucho pass. It was nice flow to that one.
Cucho had options too. So it was good. Pick the right one.
Okay. So then at the half, we mentioned Chaburko is subbed off. Is that the only halftime sub?
Chiba? Are we doing Chiba? I didn't hear him calling him Chiba this time. Have we gotten confirmation on it? Slide into our DMs.
I
if
never
you
heard
guys
that
know
last time, so I just heard it from you
the
guys.
Chiba.
So.
Really? I think it was from that
It
America.
was from the America game.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was his best friend commentating. I don't know. Anyways, second half, yeah. So Chaburko comes out. Amundsen goes back left, so it's comfy. They're our normal back three, and then we had
Yao.
good old Yao.
And
Which ironically, side note, I logged on today to Supporter Supply because I was like, I remember them complaining that no one bought the Yao shirt, so I was going to buy it for like $5 because I knew it was on sale. And they marked it back up because he's doing so well to regular price. I was like, oh man, it was on clearance like 6 months ago, but now that he's playing well, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah, 100%. I do the exact same thing. I was like, I wonder if it's still for sale or like on sale, and it wasn't. So anyways, I digress.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
I got three items full price from. I used a promo code, but
No big deal.
Supporter Supply. You guys get ready. Get ready. I got a couple tanks. Well, maybe a
Nice.
jersey,
Dude, their tanks
a
are
basketball jersey, a tank, and a 3-1 crew hat.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, that's cool. I like that.
So you'll see them on all of our YouTube clips. The guns.
The
is.
guns.
Yeah.
Which I'm just posting a graphic, so it's not even our faces, but we'll do it.
You just need a picture of.
I'll just
my
do the
arm.
picture of you,
Okay.
like a close up of just one
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Second
Ultimate
half.
Warrior. Yeah. Okay. Second half. Let's jump in. There's the scoring started, right? I moved tabs. When did the scoring start? In the second
51st
half?
minute.
Okay. Yeah, Matan.
Yeah,
Was that the one that started with Sawatsky?
We had possession for a while before this one happened. So
Okay.
my summary started partway through that possession where the ball goes to Nagby at the center circle.
Okay.
And he turns and plays the ball forward to Matan. Matan passes quickly to Cucho out to the right while Nagby's making a run into space behind. Towards the box, Cucho passes to Nagby at the top of the box, and he quickly backheels it to an oncoming Matan who blasts a shot with his first touch from outside the box, upper 90 right corner.
It was
Mort's feeling
disgusting.
Oh, that was so nice. That was. I mean, can you write it any better? Just a passing before it, and then that finish to like top it off.
It was so weird that Nagby was the furthest one forward, though, to like kick it back. That's the one thing I was like, what's Nagby doing? Oh, doing tight stuff
Yeah,
all the time. Got it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna push this in your direction so you can just blast it
It was
in.
like a
in
little
your step.
outside of the foot, little flicky
Oh,
boy.
No,
So-
that was a
Man,
beautiful.
cool.
The finish
Yes.
was awesome.
It was great. And so again, the amount of time it's taken us to describe this goal was about the amount of time that we got to enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
In the game, right? I mean, by the time they were done showing the replays, they started showing replays again of the equalizer from Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
But it was very short. From the broadcast standpoint, I don't think there was any game shown between the end of the replays and the the equalizer.
I think it was one of those people jumping up and down, high fiving, and turning around like, "What happened? Why did he get so quiet at the game?"
Yeah. Haas didn't even get his second drink yet.
Yeah.
He's still in the bathroom.
He's still in the bathroom. He didn't even make it out of the bathroom to check the replay.
In his defense, it was number 2.
Goal number 2.
That was the second goal, right? Okay, so then Haas, what happened?
Rosales crosses, who's a defender, he's up for Minnesota, crosses the ball in from the left side to the far post, and Hlongwane, how are they saying it on the broadcast?
The fact that he doesn't go by Bongo, I don't understand.
But does he spend a lot of time at airports? What's the thing here?
But his first name is I have to pull it up. I think it's kind of like Bongo.
Isn't Bongo the
Bongo
airport like
Kuali
Wi-Fi thing that
Longway.
you can buy? I'm pretty sure it's Bongo.
They were called like Hlongwane or something like that on the broadcast.
Hlongwane.
Anyway,
Hlongwane.
he beats Amundsen, Yeboah, and Bush to the ball, but just like bodies it into the goal.
Oh yeah,
He's a beast.
I wasn't
Which
sure.
is his 6th goal in Leagues Cup.
So was it
along with an
his?
assist.
I wasn't sure for a little bit if that was like, was it an own goal that we got a body on it? And that was
it was his.
Yeah,
it was his body.
that was that was his body. The only thing there was that was one of maybe the situation where I had a little hesitation about how Bush reacted to it, because he went into kind of the duel with 2 players. He had 2 options. Obviously, I don't know if he could done much to save it, but he could also probably have taken another angle towards the ball and maybe been there first. Yeah, that's the only thing on that. That was probably the only thing that I had on Bush in this game.
And then
which is
did he
not
like
allowed.
tear his ACL while he was celebrating? What happened with that? Like, because he seemed to get up okay.
I thought he was going to fake
running
that injury thing, do that injury
Well, then his-
celebration.
Honestly, I did too. I really thought he was going to do the
which is a good, which is
Yeah.
funny. I like
During the game.
Will Trapp,
Anthony
Will
Robinson does
Trapp
that?
was next to him, or somebody else came up to him first, and he like grabbed his leg, and then he started limping. They're like, it looked like his teammates were trying to figure out whether he was fooling
Faking it or
around.
not.
Yeah, if he was actually hurt, if he was going to like sneak a backflip in and like do the splits
I think
or
it
something.
was just like the
Willy Wonka style.
Some
three
magic.
players came together, and it was just contact from that. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I mean, it
put
looked like
his
it
body
hurt.
on the line to get to that,
yeah. He just got up fine. That's why I was confused. Like he was,
and then
he
it
was
set in.
Probably because he was
fine
pumped
in
up.
the-
He's like, I scored. Ouch. Like, all right.
yeah.
So interesting
right.
thing about him, though, he comes straight from the South African league. I think he came over here last year and played, and he had 2 goals all of last year. He had like 2 goals in the season, like in South Africa, whatever, and 6 goals so far in MLS. And now he has like how many goals?
6.
Oh, maybe that's
In
all the
Leagues
6.
Cup alone.
Maybe that's what they're counting in here. I'm not sure.
I called him out like 4 weeks ago. I was like, this guy's
did.
name is insane.
I thought
was
you
like,
were
but-
just doing it based on the name.
Yeah.
I absolutely was. But I was like, then I started following it because I was like, this guy's name is insane. And then I kept seeing him score, and I'm like, oh, he's really good. Bongo Kuali Bohalangwang. Like,
Why don't you
He's-
focus on Chiberko for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then you can graduate.
Sheba? Shebas?
Okay, so that was a drag.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. It just kind of I don't know. It felt like
we just
the,
You're gonna score again.
we were ahead for such a short amount of time. It almost kind of felt like neutral. You know, like okay, well we're back to where we were 3 minutes ago, with the tie game. So, anything else? Next.
Molino and Farsi come in at
we had
78.
some subs.
Yeah,
Gressel
So-
and Nagby off.
it's earlier normal, but we also started looking a little tired.
Molino,
game.
this is his second game. He hadn't played for a while, right? And he
He
came
was
in
injured, but was he even? Was he available for the past like 4 weeks or 5 weeks? I thought he played for Crew too, like right after when he was. Didn't he play for Trinidad and Tobago or something like that?
That's what he did. He went away and played for the
Oh,
for his
right.
national
Yeah,
team.
because I don't
But he
remember if
hadn't
we
played for the
commented
crew yet.
on
Yeah.
the show or not.
Yeah,
or
we
if
talked
were-
about that.
If it was on the text thread, but
No,
I think there was some eye rolling, right? Because he had been injured, but he wasn't playing for us, or we weren't playing him.
no,
one
we
way or the
mentioned it
other.
here that he had played more minutes
Yeah,
for,
that's
for,
right.
for them than for us.
That's right. And then, so maybe it's just League's Cup. We're like, let's get him back in. I mean, last week, you guys were talking about him like he's a first team player.
We're paying him as first team player, so yes.
Okay. All right.
We'll come back. We'll come back to him because there's a Twitter question about that. And
Okay.
I do want to
All
dive
right.
into that. So
Okay, so he came in, and then the Farsi thing is
sure.
clear because he was starting, and now
Gressel was tired.
He's
Makes sense.
coming off the bench for Gressel, right? So
My only other note before the goal was the same minute that they subbed in, there was a foul from Herrera on Sangbin
In the box.
that totally could have been called a PK.
Okay,
It
yes.
was he fouled him in the box, and
He
it wasn't
grabbed
called.
his shoulder, but
Shoulders.
he made a meal of it because in real time, it did not look like a foul. It looked like he dove. And then on replay,
Yeah, it
I was
looked
like,
like a
oh
dive.
no, that's going to be called back.
He
But
grabbed
they
him.
didn't. And it got to the point where Will Trapp was so mad, he was screaming
He
at
got
the
a
ref
yellow.
and got a
Yeah,
yellow.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I was like, I mean, I don't think he's wrong because I actually think it probably was a foul.
No, Will
Yeah.
Trapp have a reputation for being a real ass. So
Yeah. He's a real enforcer. He's real mean.
yeah.
everybody
Ben, this
hates
was
him.
reminiscent to the one that we got in an argument with Quentin earlier in the season where he committed that exact same foul, and they called it.
You just don't grab like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
was more blatant than that.
I just
though,
want.
think.
I've never been pulled from behind like that. I'm not fast, so that obviously is like the reason. I understand that. I just feel like anytime someone's touching a
Ashley's
shoulder,
never pulled you from behind.
the way no,
No.
Hold on a
always-
second. Hold on. All right, I can't find the yellow
I
card.
have 3 kids.
Oh, we
There
got
she
help.
is.
We got
You're just
assistance.
getting a
Your
legal-
assistant got it.
Thank you, Hans. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just saying
This
the
is
way
a children's program.
Who was it on, Tracy or Ben?
every time
Both of them. Both of them.
every time I post this podcast, I always like hover over the explicit. I'm like, I kind of doubt it, but like we get weird sometimes. I'm always like, it's fine. It's fine. It's 2023.
I don't know where my cards are, but thank you, Haas, for this.
All I'm saying is like when someone grabs a shoulder, the way people fall just seems like it doesn't equal. Like a grab on the shoulder, your feet don't kick out like you're in Looney Tunes, like ho ho ho, or you like hit a banana. It just seemed like I don't know.
Joke. Okay.
Do they eat
All right.
bananas? Aren't they ducks?
What?
They're birds. They're birds, not ducks. Birds.
Loons.
Is a duck a bird?
Loons. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bird.
Is that a question?
What else would it be?
Is a duck a bird? Are
Could
you
be a
kidding?
snake. Snake with wings.
All right. So we had our subs 78th minute. Molino Farsi, Will Trapp. You mentioned the yellow card in the 79th. And then we scored shortly thereafter. Yeah. This one had to be I think it was Zawatsky. Somebody had an excellent start.
It was
to,
Amundsen.
oh, it was? Okay.
Amundsen played the ball through.
White guy
It
in the
was
back. All right.
One of the most insane balls I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
longest
it was.
time.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Ramirez
Zawatsky.
a spell of possession. They're working the ball around the attacking half quite a bit. Ball's played to Amundsen, who's just outside the center circle. He spots Yeboah making a cutting run in behind, plays him through. Yeboah
it's
takes
beautiful.
one touch. The ball kind of pops up on him, and he's able to get another touch on it to pass it across the 6-yard box to Ramirez. He's just beat his man, and he shoots it with his left out of the air into the net. And
Off his shin guard, probably, I think. Is
Yeah,
what it was.
the
Yeah.
keeper had
Whatever.
rushed out to Yeboah, so he wasn't in goal.
Yeah, it
but-
closed down.
Yeah.
Yeboah putting in a good effort there.
Okay, so I thought it was Zawatsky because I didn't see it on the first go, and on the replay it was that pass was from far away, so I didn't see who it was.
It
So
was
thank you,
so
it was Amundsen.
good.
Incredible pass,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yes.
pass.
It was insane.
Vision.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was great. and then we won. Right, that was the end. They blew the whistle,
Yeah.
and
We went
and
home
then
and
that
we
was the end of the
celebrated.
game. No. Trap came out in the 85th.
Cucho
And then-
hit the crossbar in the 85th,
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was such a good shot.
Boing.
and then shoots another one just barely over the crossbar, like in the same sequence.
I could tell he was pretty frustrated. He had a good game, but I could tell that he was just kind of
Just
like
couldn't find it.
he just
find the
couldn't.
frame.
He couldn't.
Or he
do
found
it.
the frame. He just couldn't find the inside of the frame. Okay. And then they equalized, right?
Dodson in the 90th, the guy
Dodson.
that
He was double concussed, right? He looked
Zawadski hit him in the head.
Yeah, he definitely got kneed in the head.
It was incidental, but man,
but he was concussed. He looked
For
messed
sure.
up.
Yeah,
And they did the whole I don't remember when that
went to-
happened. It was shortly before that, right? And then it was like, oh wait, the concussed guy just scored? Like, how did that happen?
yeah. He's like, "There's 3 balls. Like, kick the one in the center." He's like, "I got it, mom."
Yeah. It's a bit like in Sylvester Stallone's voice.
You mean
Yeah.
Dad?
Yeah. All right,
so-
Adrian.
Farsi gives the ball away in our defensive half to Reynoso.
Oh,
Reynoso drives forward into the box, gets around Moreira and Farsi. He's just kind of juking around, lays the ball off to the middle of the box. Dodson's wide open, gets a left-footed shot. It does deflect off of Amundsen. Bush was going the right way.
Why is that not an own goal? But whatever.
If it goes towards the goal, then it's not an own goal.
yeah.
He was very close to him when it deflected off of him. So
It's just
it wasn't like
dumb.
he got a touch on the ball.
It's like,
Just
No, this
If
is
you would have started out the game like we're going to score 3 goals, I'm like, yeah, of course we are. We're going to win. Like, not a problem. But
Yeah.
that's not what happened. It's like, what?
and we
I
could have
don't-
scored more.
It's what's so frustrating. It's like, I don't, because it was, you're looking at it and you're going, all right, we need to strengthen the defense. But I don't think the defense was necessarily the fault. You know what I mean? Like, I
only
just
on
feel
the
like
first
it's-
one.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the defense is usually typically at fault at some point for the goals, but this just didn't seem. It was just weird. The whole game was weird.
No, this is. We talked about street smarts, guys, earlier this year.
I know you're a fan of
Yeah,
that.
18 street smart.
Streets of Oslo.
And when
Tip of the
Farsi
hat.
has the ball, 89
I know.
minute. Just if you need to
Yeah.
get rid of it, just knock it.
Yeah.
You don't play like a ball into the inside of the field.
There
It's
was-
like too
yeah.
wide. Like
And that was
30.
ton
Molino,
of
right?
extra
Trying to
time,
be.
too, though. There was a bunch of
No,
extra time.
Farsi
though.
was the one that
Yeah, that-
passed it and
yeah.
gave it away.
Yeah.
So 8 minutes of extra time. No extra time, though, right? There was
Yeah, they go
stuff-
straight to
Extra time,
penalties. There is
but
no
we
like.
have-
Extra halves.
We had
Right.
a couple of opportunities though, didn't we?
Multiple.
Yeah.
Before the end of the
End
game.
of the game.
Molino had 2 that he should have put on goal at least.
Well, yeah, the one by the
Uh,
post.
And I think, like Ben was mentioning, I noted like literally the end of the game, the 98th minute when Molino had a chance. Cucho was like jogging at half field, like wasn't even making an effort to get into the play.
Yeah.
He was just done at that point.
Yeah.
Do you think they were resigned to the shootout? Do you think they were gassed?
Gassed.
They were probably
think
gassed,
Cucho-
right?
Oh,
Cucho
no,
was
we-
gassed
we-
at
They
that
played
point.
so many minutes in the last
yeah.
whatever 10 days or whatever it
200%
was.
humidity.
Like 4 days before, yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about it during the game too while watching it. We were like, it's insane how gassed we are. And the game, we did create a lot of chance at the end, but the game was like wide open. There was so much space in the middle of the field. So it's like, they had our guys up here, they have some of their guys here. There was the whole open area in the middle. So it was only attack going on. It was
So,
always
okay.
a team in attack, nothing in the midfield.
All right,
I
so
mean-
let me just stupid question. If we knew that it's gonna be so dumb. It's
Is a
late
snake a
summer.
bird?
It's late summer. It's late summer. We knew that we were gonna get out of the 3-team group stage on Monday before we played America. Would it have made more sense to maybe put a little less on the field
No.
right? No,
against America.
My take
Yeah.
my take on that was a good game to play. I think that was a game that really tests you, and you get the crowd out, and it was against a big team, and you want to make that.
Yeah, if I'm the coach, I'm not going to be like, I don't really care about this game. It's like no, I want to go out and
that's a
stop
signature win that they can go out and point
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
It's like, guys, don't forget, this is how good you are. I like
there was
that.
a really big Lucas Zelran lens that day as well.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of
emotion. For sure.
yeah, a lot of things to prove, a lot of not to prove, but you know what I'm saying. Like there's this high emotion is the right way to say it. So I think that in hindsight, or at the time, I don't think that we would have had the hindsight, but now it's like, could we have had more energy to down the stretch with Minnesota had we not scored 4, not staffed the team to score 4, and have a little more in the tank for the end of this game. Just wondering.
That's a good
I don't know.
point.
We had 3 goals. If you score 3 goals in a game, you should win.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
68% of possession, 24 shots, 528 passes to their 214.
300 xG.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if it would have made a difference.
Okay,
with the American
yeah,
game.
I'm just asking the question.
No, it's a good question.
You said it was a dumb question. It was a dumb question.
No, but again, to your point with the Club America, I think that was the game of this. That was the game that really mattered out of the ones we knew about. And of course, it's the next game. And of course, if you go on, it gets more and more important. I think the second we got to this game, it becomes a little more like we tried some new starters. We tried to win, but at the same time, we're going to cover penalties when it's all over. It's kind of like, okay.
Something to think about and I don't know what the Emeki's schedule is off the top of my head. They were a couple games in or something into their second session or something. But like maybe something to think about, Don Garber, MLS, like maybe don't have the very end of the trade window coincide with the group stage of this tournament because right? Because there was this whole other narrative going on where we're like, should we try out these new players? And maybe that was by design. Like,
it was just
give you a chance to play these players.
That's all that mattered. Like, when's you getting here? We're doing a tournament.
Yeah, but tactically speaking, right? We had decisions to make. I mean, maybe it benefited us because we could try these guys out on some lower stakes games. But if they want us to play to win, then maybe don't have those two things overlap in such an interesting or,
Well, we
difficult
lost.
way where we're juggling.
Cincinnati lost the same day. The final would have been the day before Hell is Real, so I'm assuming they would have moved Hell is Real. So
Yeah, they would have had to move Hell is Real.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the overall feeling I have with this, and we talked with the Eagle Eye podcast and expressed it on there, is that
This is
if
the Club America podcast.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. If we would have made it to the quarters or the semis, I would have been extremely happy. I'm not happy to get knocked out by Minnesota, but really, my eyes are really on that MLS playoff run and MLS Cup.
Yeah.
and Hell is Real, to be honest, because we lost the first one. So I'm like ready.
I think that's a key matchup as we push for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So let's.
That's my point. That's my point. If we win, it's great. It's fun. Let's keep it rolling. But the second we're out, that's why we kind of walked out. I'm less disappointed about this loss we would get knocked out than I am for a home game loss in MLS.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's
and we
in
didn't play
conference
bad
loss. It's
either.
like,
So,
that
like,
sucks.
It's not
So
like
that-
we got played off the field. It's like we should have won that. Crap.
But in our recap here, we have not lost yet, right? It's still tied.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just what do you want to say about the shootout?
No one knows how to take a penalty. Just like no one knows how to.
No
No one
one-
knows how
I
to
mean,
take.
And nobody knows how to manage a penalty, apparently.
Yeah, and watching it though, I don't understand. All right, I'm gonna say it. I don't understand how you're a professional soccer player and you don't hit the side netting. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. Like, how can you? Looking at you, Molino, like you just kind of chip it in the. I don't understand. I don't understand how you're like
goalie friend come up and hug you before you took your
let's
shot.
not start on that. That is not a card. It's unbelievable to me that a player in Molino didn't want it. He wasn't friendly about it. That he comes up and hugs him. That's a yellow card, and that means if he comes off the line, I don't know if they had that rule there, that he should have a yellow card too, right? That means he's out.
I don't think Bush got one.
Oh, he didn't get one. He should.
Initial save.
He should have. Or did you change that?
There was a Mexican keeper I saw that does magic before, like legit
he
has
was pulling the string out of his
mouth and stuff. He like legit does magic.
I saw that. It was crazy.
I think that should be not only legal, but you have to do. Yeah. It's like you have to be like
parlor tricks out.
Yeah. Is this your card? You may take the shot.
He's 6'6", but
check your shin guard.
There's no sleight of hand, so we've got to get him off the team.
It's just if you're a professional soccer player and you can't like take a corner kick and beat the first guy and you just hit it, that's ridiculous to me. It is unacceptable. And the penalty taking, especially if you watch the first 3 penalties from the U.S. women's game, they're just hard inside netting. And it's just
the first 6,
they were awesome,
or 5, because even Sweden's were good.
Yeah, Sweden's were awesome. I was like, they're unsavable, and it's like, yeah, awesome. Like that's how it should be. And we had some. But I mean, I'm looking at ours, and they missed between us and Minnesota. They missed 5 in a row, and 3 of them were like
if you don't,
not even on frame. Like
if you don't
what
give
are
the
we
game
doing?
away, try again. Like what was happening? It was just like
they were just way over the bar, like
trying so hard to lose.
Felt like we were gonna do it in the stadium. It was like, oh, we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. Oh.
And I want to say,
hold on a second. Hold that yellow card up for yourself.
When Morera walked up, I thought he would put that away. I was 100% confident.
Yes.
He walked up. He looked like a player that's going to put that ball away.
We've talked about captain potential.
Yeah.
This guy is the Rock, right?
So that one, there was no doubt. But then I was kind
Dwayne
of
the Rock Johnson. Yeah.
Weird choices for penalties, but I guess
Molino's was like a little baby chip. I'm not even sure it would have made it to the goal if there was no goal
down the middle.
Just stops.
It was so bad.
Poor.
I don't care who.
Poor.
I don't.
It was just poor.
But I mean, you step up. I don't know. I just look at Harry Kane scored today. Same thing. He looks just like the U.S. and the Sweden ones. They take like 3 steps and blast it side netting, and it hits so hard it bounces out. And it's like, yeah, even if the goalie guesses that way, but these little like chippy thing, 5 in a row.
Long Wayne scored 2 run-and-play goals, and he missed his PK in the shootout.
Yeah.
It just. The misses in a row was like too much for me.
Yeah,
like watching it, I was like,
people say this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about soccer versus like we're saying that, and especially if we come from the U.S. and you have a lot of these sports like football and everything is very planned out with the plays and execution of, basketball, last second shoot and all that. A lot of that is like planned out differently. A lot of the reaction for soccer player is a reactionary, instinctual. So the second you have the penalty taking, that's a situation that most of the players don't deal with, except for like maybe once in their career where they have to take a penalty. I mean,
how many penalties have you taken in your career?
I took in college. Oh man, I've taken maybe a handful over the years. Like as an adult, maybe a handful. And I took took one in a playoff game in college. I think.
Really?
And we lost. I scored, but
when we hit playoff times, my coach forced every single person to take them every single practice. We ended the last like 20 minutes of each time like taking. I don't know. I just thought it's just crazy because it was drilled into me, and it's like, yeah, you should be able to just hit side netting.
Yeah,
make the goalie make the save. And the fact that 3 were like chipped over, I'm like, I'm not even sure if 2 of them hit the ground yet.
In Minnesota, they. At least one of their misses was blown over. Were they both misses, or did Bush stop one?
One might have touched the crossbar, but like just a glance.
One. Maybe that was the one where he was off the line. But all right, we don't have to belabor this anymore. That was a bummer. We biffed it. We're done with the Leagues Cup version 1.0. Let's take a break. When we come back, what are we doing when we come back? We're going to do the crew 2 now? Sure? Okay. We'll do crew 2 now. And then when we come back, we will go through the Twitter comments and the predictions. We'll be right back.
Hey, Club. You know who rules? You do. You know what else rules? The new record by Takass entitled Deadfall. Recorded entirely in a hidden chamber beneath historic Crew Stadium during the 2020 MLS Cup. These devout Crew fans have birthed a thrash-to-piece. So you're thinking, okay, sweet, but what about those breakdowns and those halftimes? Hey, Ben, I drive an 18-wheeler truck in the desert. Do they have something for me? And for those club members who work in a snake factory and are looking for sweet licks to control those devil serpents, there's this. Lastly, you may be asking yourself, well, this is all great, but do they have an acoustic ballad? Nope, they're a thrash band. 1, 2, 3, go! So stream Takass, that's Takacs, on all your favorite streaming platforms. Hail Matan and go Crew!
Hello. Thanks for having me again. Thank you to Ben for being patient and me being able to get this Crew 2 review to you guys. So, last Thursday, the Crew 2 played at home against Eastern Conference rivals Toronto FC 2. And, you know, those longtime fans among us remember last year's Eastern Conference Finals, which is, to this day, one of the best games I've ever been to at any level. Go back and watch it if you can, because it was awesome. And it's the only Crew 2 game that I've had the opportunity to go to, and it really, 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 solidified me as a fan for life. So, we expected a good game against Toronto too, but this time around, it was a good game, but it was very one-sided. The Cappies won handily 4-0 at full time. And that evening, it was clear that Marco Micheleto, our captain, was fully healed, which is great, because this was his best game this season. He created most of our chances throughout the game and scored twice before being subbed off, I think, with 15 minutes left the second half. Also shining in the midfield were Taha Brun, who continued to impress with his skills. Dude has great footwork, is great in tight spaces, but also had a great game defensively. He stole a lot of balls. He, I think our third goal came from him picking a pocket in the midfield and then creating a chance from that. And to his left, wingback Stuart Ritchie continued to do what he's been doing all season, which is creating scoring chances with some elite crossing efforts. He has been a great player in both sides of the balls for us. And it pans well for what we can look like next season. And he might be getting looks from the first team as well. And talking about first team looks, one final name that I want to highlight is Cole McGannon. He's on the top of my list for Cappies that should be getting looks from the first team. His work rate is unmatched. Dude covers the entire field all game long, and he does so playing from some hybrid winger number 10 position. Sorry for my dogs. Gannon scored our fourth goal of the evening, assisted by Cole Moroka. And as I said before, when the Crew 2 is playing their best, they are a clear contender for the title. And I don't think I'm exaggerating there. That's what they have done the last two games, and that's why they come with two very convincing wins. So the silver lining for the Crew leaving the League's Cup is that people will have more time and money to go cheer on the Cappies, and they should. It's a great time. You can see what the future can look like for the first team, and if they play up to their potential, it's going to be a great game. All right? Thanks, guys, and for the next couple weeks, let's go Crew 2.
All right, we're back. So we didn't even mention Diego Rossi, our new signing that happened, the day after, couple days after the...
Oh, we did. We said, I was hinting it.
Yeah, but we didn't know
it wasn't
that.
done.
We heard rumors.
Oh, it was rumors.
It was all rumors,
It was rumors.
but it was rumors.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So it's
knew.
official. What do you guys think? I mean, are we
Hey,
good?
Yeah, we are good, but let's go into the conspiracy
win the World Cup.
theory kind
World
of
Cup
things
soccer,
where we
football.
said that the idea was to bring him in and keep in Salrayan. If that's
Oh,
true,
yeah.
that is something that idea excites me. I don't know how much truth it is to that.
I think we were I've read and
That would have been
heard that
really
we're a few days
exciting.
behind now, right?
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
like 5 days ago. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah,
It sounds
Yeah,
like
if we would have kept
couldn't
Zelly, I would have felt
structure-
like Chelsea, where it's just like we only have attacking players. We have so many. We have we keep in mind like Russell Rowe, Max, Matan, Ramirez, Cucho, like Rossi.
Yeah.
Zelly,
But we're bringing it
it's like,
either way. We can go back and
didn't-
talk
well,
about that
I
and
don't-
talk about Don Garber and how it seemed like some teams get special treatment and some areas do not. Even technically, when we have no proof of anybody breaking any rules whatsoever. But
All
it
the
just
rules are
seems,
arbitrary.
But it seems
Miami's under sanctions already.
Yeah,
Well,
it seems
yeah, but he's talking
unfair.
about this season. Yeah,
It seems
Yeah,
unfair. There
yeah.
was something with change his Nagby status and so on. But either way, him coming in, I mean, if it was in isolation, what is not to like? I mean, we're bringing in a guy that won the Golden Boot back in 2020 with an
He was
LAFC
awesome.
team that was unbelievable. And much more of a team than what we saw back in last year. This was the 2020 version of LAFC. I like that team much better than what I saw last year. I don't know if
I
you.
mean, he's 25 years old.
Yep.
In 101 games, he scored 43 goals for LAFC.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think it does.
exciting.
It very much puts a pin in. We don't need a 10. We don't need a playmaker, hanging out in the middle because he's not a number 10. And at this point, we don't really have a playmaker style number 10. The worry is, and we'll get to it, is that when we needed somebody like that, we put in Molino. We subbed out Nagby and put in Molino as a playmaker, and it's well, that's kind of a problem. So if you need that central attacking mid who kind of just has free reign to go everywhere, a la Zelarayan, a la Messi, a la any of those teams that play with that, Acosta for Sensi, it's just kind of he made it very clear with the signing that's that's not our what we're going to
profile.
do. Yeah, which is fine. Again, 7 goals in 2 games. He's going to score.
We don't like in goals. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, Zelarayan was dangerous, but Rossi, Cucho, and Ramirez, that would be so terrifying for a defense. It's good. It's we lost Zelly. I wish it would have been wiser for them to have that announcement the day after to soften the blow. But I know there was some paperwork and stuff where they
Then
were.
there's going to be questions
when
if it wasn't, why is he not playing? Then you get rumors. So they say hey, we just have to let everybody.
Full
know.
disclosure, he flew in this morning, so he wasn't available.
Sunday the 6th.
No, yeah, okay.
Well, so I think that kind of rolls nicely into. We got a couple questions. First from Way, do you think Rossi will be integrated into the team before Hell is Real? That's on the 20th. That's a couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I mean, yeah. So will he be integrated? Will he play? And now that Leagues Cup is over for both teams, we have
a lot of prep time.
I think yes.
Well, we won't have Cucho, right? Didn't he get a red card?
We will.
Kuch?
No, he served his suspension already.
Okay.
Yeah, that was weird. That went
Nancy
around
got
on
2 games.
Twitter. Yeah, Ben, you're not incorrect, but yeah, no, that was incorrect. Nancy's out. Cucho's
Kucha's back.
Yes, Cucho's
He served
back
his
for Hell is
suspension
Real.
against Portland.
Rossi's going to be in. Gressel had his carry-on bag at his first game. That,
Yeah.
No, I thought you meant
He
Rossi's.
parachuted into the
Russell
game.
was
That's how he got
sitting
subbed on.
but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I see no reason why they would ramp him up. I mean, is there?
He'll at
unless
least come
there's-
on.
Yeah.
100% he will play, but he will start.
Yeah, I think
he will start.
because of the way he plays and his positioning, he's kind of a plug and play, kind of like how Gressel was. So like as soon as Gressel got subbed on, it was like, oh, an assist, and he played awesome. It's like, yeah, he gets this. The people they're bringing in definitely fit the system. Like they identify them, and they're a plug and play in the system. You know.
So my question for you guys would be: do you think Matan comes off, or do you think Ramirez comes off to make room?
That's a good question.
Matan.
Matan.
I think it's Matan.
Yeah,
But do you think he does? Does he do the number 9 thing like Ramirez? Does he hang on at the end line, or does he move back? I actually don't remember Rossi's play style. I just remember him.
I think he's a lot more like Zellaround.
Yes, he is.
And I think that's why I'm leaning towards Matan.
Yeah.
Because Ramirez is completely something different. Cucho is something different. So yeah, I mean that's to me it's a like for Zelly. There's absolutely no drop off, at least for what Rossi showed when he wasn't at LAFC a year and a half ago.
Okay. All right. We got another question. Bailey Major. I guess that's how you say that. That's how it's spelled. Molino playing his last game in Columbus? Question mark.
There was no question mark. I think it was just a statement. I was like,
it's questioned by Mark. The reading.
Oh, is that the first time you've used that joke? I feel like,
yeah, I just thought of it. It was my brain uses it.
I don't have it tattooed on my arm.
No, I don't do jokes, Ben. You know, we're just talking here, man.
Is he maybe the most? Is he maybe the most frustrating player? We were joking, like I think it was the Club America game. He went down with the injury, and we were joking on the sideline, me being the guys I was sitting with, and said like, "Oh, he's down. He's out for 6 months, and yeah, he signed a contract yesterday." You know, like it's
yeah.
And
yes,
and he
on this roster, I think the answer is yes. He is the most frustrating player.
But I don't know how I can remember how much we pay him. I don't think he's that high of an earner. And in this league, with his potential to what he can play, which is the frustrating part, is he actually can play some pretty good games, like we saw in the last game when he came in.
Last game,
the
he
cost
was
was high.
Yeah,
even if he doesn't earn much, it's still a high cost.
No, but my point, what you bring in
or...
instead, that is like, yeah.
No,
so last year Kevin Molino made $700,000.
Okay, get rid of him right now. Just kick him out the door. Sorry, I retract everything I said. Just like put him on the play. Yeah, I was wrong. Get rid of him.
Yeah. Well, he played pretty good. 700,000. Get rid of him.
Give him Gressel's carry-on bag and send him away.
They just trade bags.
No, we always hope for. He's been proven proven player at MLS, and we always wait for him to come good.
So 2021, he was on 667. 2022, 700. So there's almost a guarantee that he is making
at least half a million.
725 at least.
Yeah. He got a pay raise by not playing.
Meanwhile, Schulte makes like 70, and Farsi makes like McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah, pay him a ton more. And send this guy off.
Double down on these guys.
No, I'm not trying to be mean. Just people livelihood and all that. I understand that, but I mean, it's been one of those.
To answer the question, I hope it is his last game or I hope it's the last time we see him.
Well, probably
play a game.
This question is: was his performance bad enough for the coaching staff to take notice and not play him anymore?
If Rossi comes on and the backup to Rossi or a number 10 or a type of playmaker that drops in is Matan, then yeah, he can go.
He could be
because
done.
we don't have anybody. Yeah, because we don't have anybody.
Exactly, that's my problem. That's what we talked about before. If Morris and Nagbe, either one of them get injured, we are in trouble.
Well, we have Camacho who can play center back, and I think Zawadzki will shift out of playing in the back three.
Yeah.
I agree. It's hard to make that call. Same thing with Amundsen not being in the back left, right? But I think that's kind of the play.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different formations, a lot of different things that we could do that don't involve Kevin Molino. that I would be
Like
totally
play
okay
soccer.
with.
Yep.
I don't care who else it is, just not him.
Yeah, I mean he's a good player. I was really stoked when he signed. I think that was didn't he sign with like Bradley Wright Phillips, strengthening like that thing? And I was like, man, Bez is a genius, and all of those signings fell flat, and we did terrible.
Hey,
I
who's
was like,
Brady
okay.
Scott? Is he a goalie?
immediately.
I was looking
Yes.
at those people on our bench, and I was like, Brady Scott. Why do I
Yeah.
know that?
So, but last game he played so well. I will stand by
Maybe-
that. I thought
yeah, so, I
I
don't
thought
know.
he played really well.
Again,
We'll see.
to
This
the
game was a
frustration,
bummer.
We've seen it. We've seen it. We that's the thing that is that just him. He's just a very inconsistent guy because we know that his ceiling is pretty high. Right? We
It
all know
was.
that.
I think that ship has kind of sailed.
Oh,
But
okay.
at the end of the day, like the amount we're paying him, if we can find
What-
someone for half the
What
price,
year did he come in and immediately get injured?
was it
I
2021?
think he was injured when we signed him. He was already
Oh.
injured when we signed him.
I feel like
He
that's
hurt himself
ridiculous.
with
I'm,
the pen.
no, I'm
He dropped the
telling you,
pen. He like
that is
bends
the
over.
case.
ICL.
It was 2021. You said.
I don't know.
I think he
It-
came in without knees, and they gave him.
I
knees
think
or
I
something
think
like
I
that.
think he has a T-shirt that says Golf Trinidad and Crew in that order, or something.
All right. Hey, so I wanted to throw this out to you guys. So we played a new tournament, right? First time,
Yeah.
inaugural tournament, late summer. So later than we'd usually start play in March. We won all the games in our group stage. We went to a shootout against Minnesota, and lost. And I, of course, am referring to the MLS's back tournament.
Yeah,
in 2020.
Yeah.
And the same year that we went on and won the MLS Cup,
Yeah.
right? So so all is not lost. The other thing I wanted to spend a couple minutes on, because this has been bugging me and I've been waiting.
It
for an
has been
off week.
bugging you.
I've been waiting for an off week to talk about it. Right around, I think I read it was like June or July of 2020 was when they first started doing, was when teams started playing again after everything was shut down. They started doing 5 subs, and this seemed like something that was like, oh, are we still doing that? And I see that it's part of the official rules now. I just wanted to hear what do we like that? Is that a good thing? Is it like a back in my day kind of thing, or is it better? What do you think?
It's 5 subs and 3 windows, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so time wasting isn't an issue. I think I love it. I actually really like it. And I think it's really important, especially if you have US Open Cup and Leagues Cup and MLS, and then you have like other things, like you have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like and you need to rotate or something like that. It also gives you the coaches like, okay, something's going wrong. I have like one more guy sub. That stinks. If he's like, oh, I have one more window and I can sub 3 people and try to change the game. It just creates like a, I have no problem with it. I think it's actually a really great thing. And I think everybody should kind of adopt it. I do have a question, Mort. In college, was it 3 subs, or could you like sub off and come back on?
There was some very simple rules. Is in the half, if you got subbed off, you couldn't come back in that half. Or that might actually just been in the first half when I think about it, because I usually got a sub at the last 10 minutes of first half, like,
you're
and
really
then
fit,
and then
you're
and then
real
we'll come
strong
back
body.
out in the second half to give us a breather. I don't like that particularly. I think that's like,
Yeah.
puts you,
Well,
like,
so
kind of
my
off,
question
but that's a different story. But
I'm trying to remember high school's rules, and I cannot for the life of me remember. I think
so
you
I
could, like, come
wouldn't go
off
to
and be
that,
on.
but to your point, I'm with you, Ben.
But is
through and
okay.
through.
So 5 subs better than 3. I heard the points that you make. So my question then is on that is aren't these numbers just arbitrary? Like, is it 3? Is it 5? Should it be 6? Should it be 11? Should they go on and off?
Well,
Like,
without rules, we have chaos, right?
yes, I want to know. Like,
You're allowed
is there-
one alien sub.
Is there some kind of sport specific significance to the number 5? or is that just
Yeah,
is
it's,
the prize
it's
just
number
better
3.
than
It's 2 more than 3.
Yeah. No,
It's an odd number. Same with 3. And
No,
it looks like an
I
S.
think the biggest thing about it is, I mean, it creates a positive and a negative for the team with the deeper bench that can bring on better players versus the team that is
more dependent
maybe
on their
more
starters? Yeah.
yeah.
well,
Leicester.
yeah, or
Leicester City,
or
when they
more
won it, they're like, we have 11 players and that's it.
or more,
No
more
one gets
scrappy. I mean, the more scrappier teams, like if you put out let's say the top 14 versus the top 14, there's a better chance that the team with the higher payroll is going to be able to withstand. You know, with those 3 subs being better than your 3 subs, when you dilute that down even further, it becomes that lower team with the lower payroll gets a little bit more of an advantage. Unless you're Chelsea, who just continues to bring on, you know, whatever player
Speaking
they're
of
paying out
sanctions.
of the.
So so I think
And then you have Nancy, who brings on 1 sub in the 80th minute.
Yeah. What am I
Have
talking
one sub and
about?
you will like it.
Yeah.
But it does create a chess match effect, and I tell you what, if it was 5 subs at any point in time during the game, it would be chaos.
Yeah, agreed.
The way they have done it, where it is you can make X amount of subs during each interval, does change it up a little bit, and it makes it more strategic.
yeah, it's funny when they say they're out of sub because they used the last window. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's any caveat there for injuries or anything like that.
Just
Head-
head injuries.
Head
Yeah,
injuries.
Yeah.
So if
And
your
then you
knee
get-
goes
you get
out,
a
you grab your
sixth-
head.
You get a sixth sub if there's extra time.
Yes.
If you're playing a game that goes to extra time.
I think MLS is a good league for that because the discrepancies between the teams when it comes to depth and spend is less unless you're some of these preferred teams. So meaning that it is actually where it works well. It's like in the big leagues where we have the top 2 teams. Like thanks France, we have PSG can bring in like players that can start in any of the other teams in league and play, right, when the others get tired.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought it was interesting. I just did a little research. I remember Tarbell was in goal for us in 2020. The date of that game was July 26th. I think 20. It was.
How do you know that?
I just looked it up.
What
Hold
is
on a second.
today's date?
And why is that important?
Well, it was just so close to this game
Oh yeah,
in time of year. Anyway.
yeah.
Okay. So that's fine. Well, I guess that's what we're gonna do now. when we're old, it'll just be like
I believe
Well,
it
it'll be
was.
11
Wouldn't it
subs.
take into
Back
a
in my
vote?
day.
Like once the restrictions were lifted with COVID and whatnot, didn't it come to the coaches?
yeah, 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yep.
were like, well, "What do you guys think?" And they're like, "We love it." And it's like, "All right, cool. I don't see why not."
I think in a league like MLS where you have a lot of parity and a lot of roster restrictions, it's totally fine because everybody has the same advantage. When you're talking about Liga or the
EPL, La Liga.
EPL, where you have the haves and the have-nots, it's a lot bigger difference.
Yeah.
You know, but in MLS, it just gets more people more time.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay.
So
I'm a 3 sub man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm with you, Oz. I'm old school. Really? No subs. But Nancy too. You guys
subs.
said it. You guys said it. It's like if you don't use them, it doesn't really matter.
Hey, I think it has something to do with age, and I still play, and I play today, and I'm on there for like 2-3 minutes. I'm like, I need a sub. So the more, when I go to the game, I see like 2 or 3 guys on the line. I'm like, crap. I'm going to have to run a lot in this game.
60 seconds. Get me out
Or
of
I'm
there.
yelling at Tracy like, "Do not sub.
Yeah, do not sub.
You do not leave this game."
that's true.
It's like I'm tired. I'm like, "You do not leave. We will die out here together."
Okay. Let's
and you still won't pass me the ball.
let's pop over to
I just
our
want you on the field. It makes me feel good.
our rest in peace predictions edition of the League's Cup. I will note that even though these were non-league games, we did not see any 1-0 wins by the Crew. Not even close.
That's such an awesome prediction. I don't think it's going to happen. Like,
Oh,
especially
it
in
will happen.
strengthening our roster. I'm like,
Glad to
There's
have
no
you guys
way,
on
like-
board. Yeah.
What do we have?
Nope.
Like 12 games left in the season?
I don't know, man.
Ain't gonna happen. Okay, Mort,
It will happen.
you want to run through? You weren't here last week, except for
I don't know.
We
I
did the
thought I
super
was.
cut.
I don't
We
know.
did
No, like, I,
Was it last week I did the super?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's back from.
no, I told it was.
3-1.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I did that. I was so late at night, and I had like a whole bottle of whiskey down.
Oh, my
4
Lord.
2 1. No, 3-1.
Just kidding. 3-1.
All right, so I mean, what we all lost, right? Go through our predictions,
Yeah,
and then I think what we want to do is we're all going to pick a winning horse for the rest of the tournament, so we can follow along with that, and then I guess at some point we'll pick back up on
I don't know
our
who-
MLS predictions.
I know who I will get credit here not to at all. I mean, Ben and I both said we will score 3 goals. So if that counts for anything, Ben said 3-1. Hal said 4-1 because anybody cool would pick 4-1. And
Which you did not.
No, which I did not. Exactly. Good point.
So I'm not cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mar said 2-0. I said 3-0 because I believed in my defense, and Trey said 2-1. But yeah, we all were way off.
Okay, all right. And did any listeners predict 3-3?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay.
No
So
one in their
Ben-
right mind.
So Ben, all the stuff that you have there, just keep it. Keep it for now at your house. Keep the stuff at your house.
I don't want it.
Yeah, what kind of stuff? He might accumulated new stuff. That's
I heard he got a new Ken
Need to get you
T-shirt.
stickers.
yeah.
I did.
Was it from? Where was it from? From the Gap.
Mattel. Straight from Mattel.
No, it's Banana Republic.
All right.
Bandana
High
Republic.
quality.
No, I got the I Am Knuff. I had to like pre-order it, but it doesn't come until like December. I'm like, okay.
It's like a one of those pink ones that it says pink
Don't
on
know
it.
what that means.
No, it literally is pink. 100%.
So
It's just
This
enough
is-
with the K. Like Ken.
it's a
enough.
pun. It's a slam dunk. I'm like 80 years old. I love it.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
okay, so this goes into at least my prediction for the Leagues Cup.
Yes.
Good Lord, Messi just scored another free kick. That was ridiculous.
As we're recording, he is.
As we're recording.
Is it
twice.
4-4?
His
Because they
second
were
goal of the
up.
game.
It's 4-4
Oh
right
my
now. He
God.
he just scored an upper 90 free
Hey,
kick.
should we just stop and just watch this
Hey,
game? This sounds
take it
a
off.
lot more fun.
Let's.
I was
I-
following it. They were
I am
down
gonna
4-2.
I'm gonna take Inter Miami to win this stupid tournament.
Oh wow. Yeah, that would be.
Oh man.
That would be a very Godfather puppeteerish
Man.
kind of result,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
I mean,
I-
they got put on the easiest portion of the bracket possible.
I don't care. Watching him play is. I've never been a Messi fan. I've never
Yeah.
like.
No one is
100%.
defending him.
Milk the cow.
Of course, it's
I
fun
just-
to watch him. He's just.
It
like,
is-
No,
he's-
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
No, there's
No
a lot.
one is
Watching him
defending
take-
him.
I just watching this team play and like I'm actually excited for the juggernaut that they're going to be with everybody else they're bringing in.
Jordy's
illegally.
playing.
Illegally. Okay.
Well, I'm waiting for Suarez to come. He's going to start biting.
Suarez
people.
is not
It's gonna
coming.
be
Suarez is not coming.
fantastic.
He's not coming. No.
Anywho, I'm going to take
Don't
Miami to
like
win this
it.
tournament.
Don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever,
So
old man.
Trey's
Yeah, my 3 subs.
Trey's picking.
Three
Trey's picking
subs.
Miami. Oh, were you a 3-sub guy, Trey? I didn't hear
No.
you weigh in.
No. I was crapping on Mort
Okay.
because he's pissing on MLS expanding into.
The term
Greener
crapping on board
territories.
is hilarious.
Greener territories. What the hell?
Mort. Who's your pick?
Miami's green, Mort. Come on.
Yeah,
Who's your
the-
pick, Mort?
No,
It's not,
I have a
it's
trouble.
not kilos of white.
I have a trouble with that. I care about the competition of the MLS, and I care about the crew,
Oh,
and I
give
care
me a
about
break.
crew winning games and giving one of our conference teams a big advantage pisses me off. That's what it's about. And then we have to send off our best players because we can't keep him, for God's sake. So that's why I'm mad.
While we're paying. For
Yeah,
him.
while we're paying for this guy to make sure that we have probably no shot.
Messi just jacks some dude in the face.
He's not going to get even a yellow card. The other guy gets a yellow card. That's what happened in the last game. So he makes a joke.
No.
He makes a joke out of his league.
He took a shot and hit the Cisco-looking guy in the face.
It makes this league into a joke because there was a thing in the last game where he's pushing off a player and the other player gets the yellow card. And that's kind of a thing that people are going to talk about and focusing on. Now, nobody can touch him. No, I mean, like, nobody can touch him.
Was it the Orlando game where someone took him out, or the game before? Someone went in hard on him, and I loved it.
So hard.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, but you should be allowed to do so.
Man.
Be treated like everybody else, and that's where I'm struggling with
Exactly.
it. So anyways.
Vote no on issue 2.
But that's been his whole
pick?
career. Like, every single league he's played in has been that
Issue
way.
1. Yeah.
But the difference here is then a team had invested in him, not the league. The league is invested on this guy playing every game, and then it's going to be a different treatment.
Well,
He's
fair
owned
enough.
by the
If
league,
it's a 50-50
and he's critical
tackle,
for the
then it
league's
is what it is.
success. That means that nobody
If it's
can
a
look at him
60-40
hard,
tackle, it's something
and they're going to
different.
be whacked
We'll
over
see
the
when
head.
it gets to league play.
Yeah, we'll
This is
see.
like silly Toontown.
Yeah. Anyways,
all right. So
I
Trey said Miami.
Yeah, I can't vote.
I'm
for
going to take Miami.
Can't vote for Miami. I know these teams won't meet before a final. Could I go Club America? Could I go LFFC? I see Miami going all the way on the West or East or whatever we have in this tournament. But I want who do I want to beat them? Actually, Philly's going to beat them in the quarterfinal or semifinal, and then we're going to have Club America go all the way because they already played the best team in the league.
Okay, I like that. Ben,
Ma'am.
The temperature, I didn't see that coming, by the way.
I feel like, ma'am. I honestly think whoever wins LAFC RSL is on an absolute tear with Belonga back.
Man, I was thinking about calling them.
Really? Whatever. I know it's lame, but whoever wins that game is winning it all. Because when I'm watching RSL, it's like, oh, okay, those guys, they've kind of got it figured out. And LA beat, what is it?
You know what the league
7-1.
You know the league has a wet dream that it's going to be LAFC versus Miami in the final.
Oh, 100%.
It's kind of like the Gold Cup. It's like it has to be Mexico and USA.
Or Club
I don't
America.
know. I think they want it to
Club
be Club
America.
Yeah, I know. That could be the alternative. Not MLS though. Wouldn't MLS like to be two MLS teams?
of course,
So
of course.
No. No.
I think they want the tournament to be.
I
don't think they want it to MLS in the final. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Since Ben stole my thunder, I was going to call out RSL because of the recent signings they've made.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm going New England.
Who?
Okay, we can
That's
move
not
on.
right.
That's not going to happen.
What?
New England. All right.
Okay.
I think you guys
There you
are
go.
wrong.
Nuevo
It's
Inglés.
going to be Monterey.
I thought Monterey. Yeah, Monterey is the other hipster pick.
Wookie.
Nobody liked my Cisco joke. Okay.
Hey, where did they play that game? Because I didn't think any games were played in like Mexico, and they're playing Tigres Monterrey.
They're probably playing at lower.com.
Yeah. You know, the neutral spot, Toronto.
I would have gotten tons of emails about tickets for that already.
Yeah.
That was the case.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
I think before we get off, we need to shout out Scott. Have we done that yet?
yeah, more. Didn't you guys run into somebody at the game?
Yep.
That's what it's okay.
Jeez.
We talked about it.
Okay. Oh, hey,
better than
Haas, didn't you guys run into somebody at the game?
Yeah, so walking into the game, we were noticed by a listener who noticed Mort's jersey, upper 90 on the back, and we were chatting it up between the two of us. Scott, Great meeting you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
You guys bought him a beer
Thank
and
you.
stuff and like hung out. That's awesome that you guys hung out with him.
Should
yeah.
have.
Oh, you didn't.
No.
No.
He was wearing the same jersey as me. It was
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
We
right,
are
right. Because we'll only buy you a jersey
Like,
if you're on the other team. If you're
like
a
the
fan
same
for the other
jersey?
team.
Like you guys are.
Sharing sleeves, sharing neck holes.
Yeah.
All right, we got to cut this off. We're gonna
Yeah.
do hot ones next week.
Hopefully, I've got to call into the state. We're going to try to be outside of Crew Stadium for the Hell is Real. Trying to give away
You have a call
free
into the
jersey.
like this to the state.
State of Ohio.
State of Ohio.
Mike
The
DeWine.
sta-
He's like ODNR.
Yeah.
Can I
All right.
sit out front?
All right, President Camacho, Governor DeWine.
Called the wine.
All right, go Crew.
Go.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! That was somewhat better. Please cut out the. Oh, are you gonna cut out the fuck you? Or are you just gonna leave
No, bleep it out. Just bleep it out. It's great.